sure this fucking shit's working this time. Where are we at? What's up, everybody? It looks like it's working today, finally. Oh, you guys just saw me going through some screens, too. Okay, cool. So, I'm going to turn that off so I don't get super fucking confused. And, yeah, so, hi, everyone who's hanging out here today. As you guys know, this is members only for members of the Let's Party, and then afterwards it's public, so you know, you can share it with your friends. It'll be up for everyone to watch, but only you guys are able to hang out in here with us and ask questions and stuff like this. It's going to be a little difficult for me to go back through all the comments like I do when I'm just hanging with you guys on my own, you know. I don't want to be staring at my screen all weird, so I have someone helping me with that, but also I asked you guys in advance if you had any questions, so I would make sure that I got some really good ones just so that we didn't skip. So so I have someone collecting questions for me, but you know, I might at some point say, like, let's take some questions, and that's probably a good time to jump in and be like, hey, here's a question. So yeah, well, first of all, here I figured that I could do this out with my so let's just take a minute and like get a little zen here. It's like everyone let's all breathe together. Like, you can hear, like listen to the music. Let it set the landscape for the exciting hour we're about to have with my good friend Wes. Say hi, Wes.
Hi, Joe.
How
are you?
I fucked up here. I had something.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Finally, it's working. And yesterday this is, by the way, everyone. This is the main title track for Wes's Crystal Machete. You can hear this, right, Wes, on your end?
I can't. No,
you can't.
I can't.
Oh, you're
no.
Like, you're watching me in the green room. Like,
You
what
gotta.
the fuck is he
You got
talking
more.
about?
Yeah, I'm just watching you. I can't see any comments or hear any music. Or
Oh,
anything
okay.
like that.
You should be able to see.
Maybe there's
comments,
there's a little comment. Oh, there we go. Now I can see it.
Can you hear that?
Nope.
I'm playing your music. You know it's.
Oh, that's so nice.
What might be even funnier is that no one can hear it except me, and maybe this video is really even more awkward than I thought. So okay, fuck it.
Chat, can you guys hear the music?
Yeah, could
I
you guys
cannot.
hear the music? Everyone can. Wes can see your comments too now.
Yeah, I'm all sorted.
All right, cool. So yeah, so you were just telling me some great news that you got. What's your great news?
I mean, it's not for everyone else. It's for me, but I'm so happy right now. I cannot even believe it. So I did this whole thing where I left LA and moved to Detroit, Michigan, and had like a whole studio there. And then I left Detroit and moved back to LA because life. And I love LA. Anyway, so I've been in an apartment, like that was a transitional apartment in LA. It's actually a duplex. So I'm on the top unit and then there's a bottom unit under me. My neighbors just told me that they're moving out and the bottom unit's available. So I'm going to be able to get it and build out a whole studio in it. And I'm losing my mind. I'm so happy.
That's awesome. What's your address?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your address?
Are you gonna build like a spiral staircase or like?
No. I'm gonna put. Oh, somebody just said there's music. No, I can't.
Okay, no music. I won't do
Drag.
music again.
No, that's fine.
But fuck, man, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thanks. It's gonna be. It's gonna be so good, and Allie and my fiance Allie and I have been so like, we have no space, and to be able to have like double our space like that, oh my God, it's just gonna be. She wants me to get all my shit out, you know, and all my work stuff, and I've got consoles and gear and guitars and everywhere here, and she wants plants, so.
Do you like plants?
She's gonna be able to fill it up with plants. Oh, I mean, with the air in LA, of course. I love plants.
All right, wait, hold on 1 second. Almost can't hear Joe. Let's see if this gets any better.
I can hear you fine.
You can hear me fine, right?
Yeah.
Here, I made this a little louder, the gain. Is it too loud?
No, it's same.
Okay. You guys let me know if that's Joe, pull the mic closer. I always feel so silly talking.
Hey, I mean,
in front-
I hold my mic the whole time like this.
Yeah, should I do that too? But that I don't like when I watch podcasts and people are like, "Yeah, so tell me about."
When they're on the mic the whole time like this. That's
Yeah,
how Bobby is on the mic the whole time. Dude.
Yeah, he
Bobby's just like
but
Bobby just likes to sit behind the mic and talk like this.
I
the
love
whole
that
time.
Bobby is doing the podcast though. I think that's really interesting because he's generally a little bit more introverted. He's not like such a public figure dude. So I like watching him.
You don't think so?
Not as
he
much,
seems-
no. You think?
I mean, I think so. I think that he loves talking to people.
He does. He's really good at it.
And oh yeah, he's great at it. What's up, Restless Mike?
Yeah. Mike's my
We
homie.
got Restless. Yeah, we got Mike on.
Yeah, fuck.
Awesome.
Do you follow him on Instagram? I'm really putting you on the spot there.
No, but I'm going to right now.
You have to follow him on Instagram because he's one of those. He's fucking just like hilarious. He find those videos that you're sending back and forth to your friends now.
Yeah.
He finds the ones that like no one else finds. So,
Is it just Restless Mike on Instagram?
Mike, tell everyone what your Instagram handle is in here.
No, this is not Restless Mike. Okay.
It is something like that.
What are you on Instagram, Restless Mike?
It's Restless22.
Restless22.
Yeah, everyone actually take a minute and go follow Mike. You will not be
I got
sorry.
him.
Yeah, he's private, so it's like,
Yeah, no, I'm requested. I
Yeah.
just requested.
even better.
Restless Mike.
Yeah, Mike goes over to the Space Zebra Twitch a lot, and I
Just constantly. Constantly. It's amazing.
I was there one day, and maybe you can explain it to me now. I've been I told you and Bobby I was thinking about doing like a cooking show with my girlfriend because I'm always like she's a great cook and I'm an idiot and I'm like crying.
You're going to be the comic relief.
Yeah, exactly. And it
During
was
the
funny
show,
because last night we were doing some research and watching some cooking shows on Twitch, and the whole time she's laying down the law and she's like, "You're not going to act this way. You're not going to do this." And I'm like, "But that's all the shit everyone wants to see. Everyone wants this. You're going to make me mad." And I'm like, "That's exactly what everyone wants to see."
My favorite cooking show is Just a Dash, Maddie Matheson's cooking show. Just a Dash. If you haven't seen that,
Is that on Twitch or is that?
no, it's on YouTube. It becomes like a whole thing. It's not even about cooking. It's about the crew. When Maddie Matheson did our podcast, the Space Zebra podcast, and he was so hilarious. He's such a great cook. I have both of his cookbooks. Allie got me his signature pan for my birthday. It's amazing, but he is so funny and such a comedian, and has had so many shows. Like he's almost like a Gordon Ramsay amount of shows. He's sort of like he's like the hipster Gordon Ramsay.
How have I never heard of this dude? He has a bunch of different shows.
Yeah, but he's covered in tattoos.
Okay.
He's his teacher is this guy named Chef Rang, who's a Southeast Asian guy that calls him Fat Boy all the time and does all these shows with him. Dude, how are you missing the Maddie Matheson boat? Like,
I don't know.
what happened? Are you kidding me?
No. I bet you Emma knows.
He'll be your favorite person.
Okay.
I'm so jealous that you get to watch Just a Dash from both seasons, from start to finish. You get to watch Homestyle Cookery. Oh my God.
So did he come on the Twitch with you guys or the podcast?
The podcast. We did a podcast with him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I remember posting about it. I like Emma and I were
somebody
watching.
just said if you see him, you'll recognize him.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I hope so. He's been on Hot Ones. You ever seen Hot Ones before?
No.
With Sean.
I think I'm like
Ones.
I'm an old school cooking show kind of guy. Like Top Chef, I remember, and Chopped. Chopped is
And
like my
Master Chef. I mean, Chopped is great.
Chopped is like me and Emma's go-to when we don't want to think and like fuck can't decide on
Oh
anything.
yeah, I love MasterChef, but MasterChef Kids is even better.
Okay, I'll check it.
Yeah.
So could you, in your own words, and I feel like I'm gonna come off like a fucking idiot right now because I've been asking people this over and over and over. Please explain Twitch to me because I'm gonna do this with Emma, and I just been watching people's Twitches, and I came on the Twitch with you guys,
Okay.
and I just don't get it. Is it just about the hang?
It's about the hang, and it's a long hang, and it's also you can like do whatever you want on it, but it's also about people gifting subscribers. So
Like,
and
what's
about
the
people
incentive for them
subscribing.
to do that? Do you
You know,
set
I
the
don't.
incentive?
I don't know what the incentive is
I saw some.
because
Go ahead. Go on.
no, it's just it definitely. So you're younger than I am, and Bobby's even younger, but I've caught up with this, and Jake is even from Space Zebra is even younger. And I don't know. I think a lot of people like what we do most of the Twitch. We talk shit and we talk about current events and popular culture and stuff like that. But we also try to stump Jake.
Uh huh.
And it's so weird that Jake he's one of the best Call of Duty players in the world. He's totally amazing. He knows a lot about a lot of things. He does a great Pittsburgh accent that's hilarious. But for some reason, Jake doesn't know who a lot of like pop figures are, and we play stump Jake, and he doesn't. We show him Angus Young from AC/DC. He has no idea who it is. We show him like Pearl Jam, no idea. Kurt Cobain, no idea. Like we just Freddie Mercury, no idea who it is.
No.
Beavis and Butthead, no idea who it is.
Oh my God.
I mean, and that's just the thing. So people crack up on our Twitch stream because Jake doesn't know so many things, and it's anyway.
But what if there was like some incentive to, I don't know, get Jake to put his hand in a whipped cream pie or something? Like it's like, oh, next 50
Dude,
subs.
Did you see that video of the person? Allie saw it. I didn't see it, but there was a person who got pied in the face recently, and you know how they put toothpicks sometimes in pies so they don't collapse, and the toothpick went in their tear duct,
No.
and they had to go to the hospital, and I threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Was it like was it an Instagram thing getting shared?
Yes. So they got pied in the face, and the toothpick went in their tear duct, and they had to go to the hospital. It was disgusting. Anywho,
That's gnarly.
moving on.
Isn't this what happened to David Bowie? Someone told me this is why he had a different color eye, or maybe that's just like urban legend.
I doubt it.
That someone
He
threw a
probably
lollipop?
I don't think that would change your eye color. No.
Yeah, I don't either. It was a rumor.
But-
I like rumors.
Yeah. Oh, I love rumors.
Dude, so what's like the biggest question, like when you're catching up with your friends right now during this whole shit mess that we're experiencing, where there's nothing really going on? Like,
Right.
what's the number one question that everyone's asking you, like right
Asking
away?
me?
Yeah. Don't try to get too deep.
You got a little case of the fuck arounds today, Joe. You're a little.
Well, I got a
giggly.
little outline here.
Oh, you got a little.
doing little
outline that you're
lead-ins.
referring to. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
The biggest question people are asking me is they're saying, they're asking, when will shows come back? Are you guys playing this year? And the question is the answer is probably no. We're probably not playing this year. We would love to, but probably not.
You know where I bet you could play this year?
Where?
What place? What place do you think you'd be able to play if you?
Russia?
Yes.
That I knew you were going to say that, but I don't think we could. I don't
Maybe-
think we could play in Russia.
Maybe you can't get there, but I bet you if you were there, they would make some arrangements for you to play a show because that's how Russia rolls.
I don't want to do that.
I know.
Like we're just at the point now where LA is starting to get herd immunity, so like our cases are going down. LA has been the dumpster fire of COVID. It's been so bad here. And
Is it
we're
like?
just,
Do you feel like it's bad? Like, do you know a lot of people that are getting COVID, or do you just know it's bad because they're shutting everything down?
No, I know a bunch of people who are getting COVID, and also the desperation around where I live. I live in Echo Park, sort of south of Echo Park. My address is, I'm just kidding. But I live near Echo Park Lake, and the amount of tents and the homeless communities that are building up there are outrageous. It is so upsetting, and the crime has gone up. LA has the most helicopters, police helicopters of any city in the United States. We have 18, and it feels like they are always above us with spotlights, just one thing after the next. There was a whole day where our street got shut down, and there were dogs going from door to door looking for people. My neighbor got there was an attempted carjacking. He got a gun put to his head right at the end of the street. The guy that owns the house across the street from us, and he fought the guy. This is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He hit him with his car door and grabbed the gun, and they hit the button and the clip shot out.
Did anyone get shot?
No, they ran. They ended up running, but his phone got shattered, and he didn't. I mean, the dude has like a Jaguar SUV, which is not the best car to have in this neighborhood if you want to avoid being bothered. But it's just bonkers here,
It sounds
man.
like you're explaining that video game Grand Theft Auto to me.
That's what it's like around here. We're
That's
way high up off the ground, so yeah, we don't feel as threatened. But yeah, man,
so like
it's not cool.
just to have a perspective and talk about it. Sorry if this is like an awkward thing to talk about, but I'm just like going through the
No,
motions
no,
in
everything's awkward
in,
this year
yeah, it
and
is,
last
huh?
year.
So
Yeah,
of course, like we growing up with seeing homeless people, and I know there's like in downtown LA that's like a little worse, and like you don't think you'd consider that maybe these people have been there for a while, and like how long maybe it took for them to become in this dire situation, and you help when you can, whatever. But like, let's talk about like right now. Like, I'm very lucky to be able to figure out ways to make money to take care of myself and keep myself afloat. Obviously,
sure.
touring's out the window. Um, Now, like I was talking to Emma the other day, like what would happen if I just couldn't pay my rent? Like what happens then? Is that like, you said in your town, it's getting like the homeless problem's getting worse. Like, do people just get to a point where they're just like, well, I can't pay rent anymore, and you just move to the
Well, I
street?
think, I think it has to do with. I love that we're having a talk in this country right now about minimum wage,
Hmm.
and raising that to $15 an hour, because people, it is insane to live in like pretty much 95% of counties in the US and cities, you cannot pay your rent if you're making the current minimum wage.
Hmm.
So you've got all these people that are living paycheck to paycheck, and it is just not possible to make a living. And so a lot of the people, I think that's why we've seen so many homeless encampments in LA, because you've got so many people there living paycheck to paycheck, and they are just, you can't, if you can't do it. All the restaurant closings, all the restrictions, you've got people dying from COVID. I mean, it's just it's a compilation of problems
Yeah.
that's causing the whole situation here right now. And I know a lot of, like, I don't know why LA became like the epicenter. I think you've got a lot of people living in the same households. You've got a lot of immigrants who are living like 14 people to a household, like families and cousins, and everyone who's all piled up, and they're doing their best to like get through this. But it's so sad. And way to bring your day down, Joe. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Well, it happens like 30 times a day right now, right? So,
Yeah,
well, at least we're here to keep each other's spirits up.
that's right.
Now, I did have a question in mind when I asked what the most popular question you're being
Okay,
asked
well,
right
what's the
now,
most?
and it, and
What
and
is it? Can you see through your black contacts? Because
no,
that's the old
no, no.
popular question that I used to get.
It was actually what have you been watching on Netflix or Hulu?
What have I been watching on Netflix and Hulu? It's Master Chef Junior,
Yeah.
um,
Are you like
WandaVision.
do you
WandaVision.
Do you get like inspired by the cooking shows and then you want to go cook this stuff?
I mean, kind of. I really, you really, I wish you'd watch Maddie Matheson before we'd had this conversation because you would die. You would. I feel like we have to have a whole nother.
Okay. We'll do that. We'll do a
Let's
part
talk
two
shit.
after
Yeah,
post
after
Maddie
you've
Matheson.
seen. I mean, I can even try to get the big dog on here if you want to get Maddie Matheson on here.
Well,
Talk
I'd be
shit.
a little embarrassed that I'd be like, I don't know who you are.
You would already. This is future you. This isn't current you.
Oh,
This is
okay.
future you. You already know everything about him.
All right, let me do a little research and then we'll talk
All
about
right,
it.
there you go.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's endless stuff to watch, and I try to watch so many things, and it's uh, there's this simultaneous thing of like feeling like you're running out of things to watch, but there's also just tons of garbage that I don't want to watch. So
Yeah.
I'm not a big 90 Day Fiance fan.
that was only good for that one dude and all the memes.
And boy, I love that guy. Sad. He's terrible, but he's sad.
Who no neck Ed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ed.
Ed.
Oh, Ed.
Well,
Ed.
last night Emma and I watched do you have that Apple TV? I think Apple gave out Apple TV for free. It's like I guess it's their
I have it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think the shows are that great, but
they have like a Beastie Boys thing that was okay.
Yeah.
Last night we watched the Billie Eilish thing. Have you watched it?
I have not seen it. No.
Are you into her at all? Eh.
Yeah.
It was really interesting to watch. I feel like it was a little long. They could have cut the fat a little bit, but you know, it's very interesting to me to watch these kids like go. You know, they like she's the hottest shit right now. Like I don't know if you know, like she.
No,
won all
I
those
know. Yeah, I know all about Billie Eilish. I know her and her brother make all the music together. I know they did it in their like bedroom on
Yeah.
a computer. It's very similar to like the Sonny Moore Skrillex story
Mhm.
in a lot of ways. Like when I met Sonny, he was 16 years old, and I was like, this guy is one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life.
When
Like,
he was still in the first to last band.
from first to last, yeah.
Mhm.
When I went up, I don't know if you know this or if anyone knows this, but I played bass on From First to Last Heroin, which was
Mhm.
the second record. Heroin, not the drug, but the female hero, heroin. But he was just being around him, seeing him how he just like touched and played instruments. He could get on a drum kit.
Mhm.
Amazing voice. Like it was like this guy is gonna be. I don't know where it's gonna go, but it's going somewhere.
Yeah.
And he was. Sonny is just one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life, and everyone he comes in contact with feels it in a positive or negative way. Like it was so interesting to see the two guitar players who I love, Matt Good and Travis Richter from First to Last, were so threatened by Sonny all the time.
Mhm.
They had this constant like war going on, and for me to be in the band just for like I guess I was in there for a year playing bass, and then I toured with them for a little while. No one knew who I was, which was interesting, and also humbling and great. But it was interesting to see the guitar players react to him because he could do anything, and he was more talented than all of us
Mhm.
who were involved in the band. And it's just, I don't know, it's cool to watch those sort of dynamics unfold, and people get like react emotionally to somebody who's better than them at what they do. Travis and Matt are also super talented. So I'm saying that Sonny's a more talented person than I am. I'm throwing in the
Wow.
towel and going like I'm also in that boat, guys. So just suck it up and appreciate being around somebody that's an accidental genius.
And he did a reunion with them, I think, a couple of years ago,
He
right?
did, yeah. He
Do
did.
you think were you there?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh.
They used what's his name? The bass player that came after me. I shit, he's a tattoo artist in Georgia. He's so good. Can't
How-
remember his name right now.
How old were you when you played with them?
30.
Did you leave Biscuit to do that, or were you doing it at the same time?
No,
or-
I was out of Biscuit I've been out of Biscuit like 3 different times,
Right.
gone through like little like breakups and then gotten back together. But I mean, now I'm back forever. Fred Durst is actually doing the Space Zebra Twitch tomorrow,
Ah.
but he's doing it in character.
Oh, that'll be fun.
He's coming on as the pool guy, which will be fun.
Oh, I'll be at
But
Bobby's house. Maybe I'll be there too.
oh, that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we keep doing each other's podcasts and we're just like, hey, it's funny.
What else
Like,
is there to do?
Who's in charge of the question? Yeah, everyone has a podcast now. But yeah, I wanted to ask you in relation to this Billie Eilish situation because it got me thinking. It actually made me happy that we didn't do this yesterday because it really got me thinking about a couple things. You know, I guess you're not. How are you on pop music? Are you just like?
No, I'm fine with pop music.
Fine pop.
I like things that are good.
You know,
like, but I, you know, there's no accounting for taste, but I like things that are very good.
The way I always look at it is like, of course, there's a lot of pop music I don't like so much, but a lot of times they're spending millions of dollars on these songs, and I'm like, well, I want to fucking listen to $1 million song, you know? Like,
right.
I don't care if it's cheesy.
I mean, I would say my favorite pop record in recent years is the Lemonade. Beyonce's Lemonade, I think is so good, and the Jack White song, the Weeknd song. I mean, so good.
The Weeknd's hot. I like him a lot.
I didn't love the Super Bowl thing. I felt like they should have had like Ariana Grande, or they should have had like Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, usually it's like a hodgepodge, like a bunch of different people come out, right? I was kind of waiting for like other people to appear.
Yeah, it felt very one-dimensional, I thought.
It was wild when he was like running around with the camera in that thing. Do you think that was pre-filmed? And he was doing a wardrobe change?
No, I think they did it on the spot.
All right.
I don't think it was pre-filmed. I don't know. Maybe it was, Joe. I haven't thought about it that much. I don't know. I don't know. Was the Weeknd Super Bowl pre-filmed? I don't know. I actually wish they would have gotten Cardi B to do it. That would have been the best.
Yeah, she's good. I like her.
She's great.
What about Justin Bieber?
No.
No? Well,
no.
So, you know, the first person to talk to me about Justin Bieber was Flocka from Rammstein, you know, the keyboard player. And
yeah.
It was at the end of a
tour. I
tour.
love him. He hates America.
Yeah.
He's great. I hate America. I hate Americans.
He's a character, and he's very honest.
Yeah.
You froze a little bit. You're frozen, so I don't know what's going on.
I'm frozen?
Yeah. But I could still hear you. Oh, there you are.
There we go.
Yeah. So I was finishing up a tour with Rammstein, and I was like, what are you gonna do, Flocka? You know, he's like he's not one of the guys in the band that I'm so bonded with, but you know, we talk every once in a while. It's always weird. And he's like
his dancing skills are out of control.
Yeah.
When he has that sequin suit on and he starts flipping out, oh my God, I can't get enough of that.
Yeah, when I first started touring with them, he was getting wild in the after parties too. And then like halfway through, I think he like hit that point in his life where it was like, I gotta fucking settle down, which I obviously hit like 10 years later. But I had asked him like, what are you doing like in between tours? And he was like, I'm going to see Justin Bieber with my daughter. And I was like, I laughed, and he's like, no, listen, like you don't. He
has a daughter?
Yeah, I think he has a few. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like, you have to watch this movie about Justin Bieber. And it was like, you know, I don't know if you ever saw it. I forget what it's called. I'm sure people are going to make comments. So on the plane, like shortly after, I was with my girlfriend at the time, Megan, and the movie was on the plane. And I put it on. And I got 10 minutes in, and I was like, stopped, and I was like, you have to watch this movie with me. And we like started at the same time. I was like, in tears.
Why were you in tears?
This kid.
What is it?
So this kid, like at the age of 3, like he's like a drum set, and he's like better than me. This kid is a fucking talented person, like God-given, born.
So it's
this
like
way.
the Skrillex thing.
It's something else, and it's really interesting if you really take a step back and look at his life and how he went through his all his stuff, and like it's really sad because, you know, like he was discovered and he turned into a cash cow and just, you know, in my opinion, just taken advantage of, and like, you know, And it got me thinking. It was a little bit like Billie Eilish's story, but Billie Eilish has her family surrounded by her, kind of keeping her grounded. Um, but which I thought Justin Bieber did too, but I guess it didn't work out that great for him. Any like at first anyway. But
Well, no, there's a whole documentary that just came out about childhood actors
is there?
with like all kinds of people in it. Yeah,
Well,
about like what it does to people. I missed it. We got signed when I was 21.
well,
That's
that's what
when
I wanted to ask you
everything
because
started to happen.
I started considering like I know that like when you say everything started to happen, I feel like I remember when we were on tour together and when I was younger, I felt like you were so much older than me just because you were someone that I was going to see in concerts when I was a kid.
Well, I'm. How old are you? I'm
You're only
46.
yeah, you're 6 years older than me. But like as a kid, it seemed like you were 20 years older than
Yeah.
me because you're so accomplished. And I remember, I'll never forget the first time that we toured together and Woodstock came up and you said that you were like, yeah, I was only like, how old were you? 22, 23?
I was, Jesus, I was 24.
Like that blows my mind. And
But it's also Woodstock was not the craziest show. I said Woodknock. Woodstock was not the craziest show that I've ever played. It
what was
was
the
like this.
craziest show you ever played?
It was the big day out in Australia when we had the girl die at the show.
Oh,
That was
was it crazy before that happened, or was it crazy because of
Yeah, it
that?
was getting worse and worse. The whole tour was worse and worse. And then Jessica McKellich was the girl that got crushed to death that I will never forget and will always be a scar on my soul for the rest of my life. But because I saw her get pulled out,
Oh
and
my
but
God.
the whole show was just a nightmare. So anyway,
Was like the barricades falling down and all this?
yeah, they just
Oh,
had one straight barricade across the front. They didn't have a T barricade or a wave break, and it was like it was that two-stage thing they do, and it was just one barricade across both stages.
ugh.
Just everyone just pushing forward. They were holding the thing back. It was awful. And every time we have anything remotely close to that happen at shows where we're having any kind of barricade problems, I like lose my mind. And I'm like, no,
Yeah,
we're not doing this again.
yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the reasons I left the band in
Oh,
2001. Yeah.
well, I was this is another part of my question. I was curious if you were comfortable to share with everyone. I thought it was interesting. Very interesting to me how you've started with this band and you've left it a bunch of times and come back and like you're getting to see it through at so many different stages of your maturity. Like I'm 40 now and I'm a totally different person than I was 5 and 10 and 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
could you like kind of summarize your evolution as a person in conjunction with the band and like what was it like to get the kind of success so young
I
and
think that in the beginning it was I like when we started, I never thought that anything good was going to happen. I was just like, this is going to be a short run. We're getting signed, but we're going to be maybe around for a year. We might do this for a little while, but then it's going to fizzle out and we'll be gone. When we started, and then it kept going and going and going. We made it from it was from when I was 20 years old. I joined Limp Bizkit. I turned 21. We got signed, and then because I was still working like a square job, and then I left the band at 26. So it was real short. The
Mhm.
first three albums were just like boom, 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 um, and it was just this feeling of like this is never gonna happen. It's never gonna go anywhere. I was very like dismissive of it. But by the end of it, it's quick. You get like, you get an ego and you're doing really well and all these things are happening. You don't not believing in it turns into like, oh yeah, this is just how life is.
Mhm.
And then I left the band and tried to start another band and got put on a development deal with Interscope Records, which was Eat the Day, which
Mhm.
I released. We released both just instrumental versions of the two records that we made last year, just to put them out. But we were like, I was like, oh,
Hold
lightning can
on
strike. Oh, what?
real quick.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah, there they are.
Thanks.
We'll come back to that. So,
Yeah. But we worked really hard on putting Eat the Day together, and we're on a development deal for like 3 years, and that was when I got humbled and got my ass handed to me. And it's like, oh, this isn't so easy. You can't just,
So you
you
came
know.
out of that thinking like you were here and whatever you did was gonna
Yeah, I'm
you
just
could
like
shit gold.
I'm hot shit. I'm gonna shit gold. Exactly. And then boom, nope, and and then I went back to Limp Bizkit because they had a record that they didn't feel great about either. I think there were a couple of great songs on it, but it just wasn't the same magic that they had before. So we got back together. We tried it again. We were still mad at each other. We split up again. We didn't really split up. Everybody just sort of went away.
Were you
Like
did you guys have
this is
specific
2004.
did you guys have specific like issues, or was it just like one of those things where you just like don't like, it's like someone sneezing across the room and it's annoying you, like you just can't stand each other, you know what I mean?
No, I mean, yeah, I think there were like can't stand each other type of issues, but we also, everyone, when you have that much success so early, everyone develops an ego and has their own little camps. There's little cliques on tour of like band and crew people, and people don't. It's a bizarre thing, and I hate it so much. But because we're so much better now than we
Mm-hmm.
were then, we're all adults now, and there's when you're in a band with success very early on, you've got arrested development. Like you don't grow up as fast as other people, so you just don't. And when I went back, it was sort of like there was a learning curve, like trying to get back in with them again and like accept the differences and stuff. And I'm sure they, for me, felt the same way. But it wasn't until 2009 or 2000, the end of 2008, when I rejoined permanently, that we really had to sit down and went, this is what we're only going to base our relationship on our current interactions. We're not going to we're going to let everything else be water under the bridge and start over
That's great.
as adults. And that's really helped us to communicate and to understand each other a lot better. And I think the band's just in really good shape. And we have been through some member changes, in and outs over the years, but now we're back to our original lineup. And I mean, whenever the pandemic is over, we're going to be touring our asses off probably till we die.
Yeah.
So
How does that feel to know that I brought this up to you the other day. I
yeah,
consider when I was growing up, classic rock bands were like the Rolling Stones and Pink Floyd, and now like Aerosmith became a classic rock band. I feel like when I was younger, and who like this generation of music, like Limp Bizkit's going to be a classic rock band
classic
one
rock
day.
band. That's right. And we're going to be able to be old farts and tour. I just hope that I can do like funny, like something on stage that'll be funny and not like, even if it's depressing and like pathetic, that's fine too.
Well, I think it would be really cool to see you up there doing fucking break stuff, grandpa fucking, oh man.
Grandpa break stuff. Yeah.
So, I actually have someone special here I want to ask you a question about your
Okay. All
um
right.
we have to rely on people a lot to do ridiculous things like set up this wild fucking pedal board that you have.
Oh, like cadaver.
Yeah, you know who that is? There he is.
There he is.
What's up?
Surprise.
I I wanted to ask you about
What a nice surprise. There's my guy.
I wanted to ask you about this guitar pedal, and I figured I'd go right to the source because he's the guy that probably puts it together for you every day. So what's it like, dude? Everyone, this is Cadaver. This is Wes's and many other people's tech, but I think Limp Bizkit's your main band, yeah?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, 11
This
years
is my
with them.
my colleague.
Yeah.
So
What pedal you guys talking about?
Can you see the window? I got what I have Wes's
He's got the shit pulled up with all the tape recorders, the tape players, and
Yeah, like what's
like the like the Atari punk circuit thing and all that stuff that we had going on.
Like, what is that?
the chaos machine.
Yeah,
all the
mirrors.
tapes routed through the pedal board to go through the guitar rig and A/B switching all that.
Yeah, basically we could just we could have all the stuff on the mic stand. I could just hit a switch and it would switch my guitar to everything that was all the garbage that was on the mic stand.
Tape decks on the mic stand would get routed through the pedal board and into the guitar rig.
Yeah.
For a little chaos and noise in between songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's mainly when Lethal wasn't in the band and there wasn't like enough happening between songs.
Oh, so you were picking up the slack for like all the samples and shit.
Yeah.
And you were doing like analog. Is that considered analog?
Yeah, that's
analog.
It was annoying in a good way.
Yeah, it looks fun. I always feel like when you're pushing yourself to do something super uncomfortable, like wearing women's underwear on stage or something, it brings something different out of you that the crowd is going to wind up appreciating a bit more, no matter how comfortable.
What's wrong with wearing women's underwear on stage?
Well, if it's a little too small and it's like your thing,
you have
doesn't
to wear
know
them
what to do.
Joe, you have to wear them backwards.
No, but then it's comfortable. Then it's too comfortable.
If you wear it backwards.
Yeah, you got to wear it frontwards, and
that's
it's like
the trick.
You know, you're worried you're losing circulation the whole time. Have you ever had any issues with this pedal board, like we're traveling?
Not traveling, but we've had tons of issues with, like water falling on it at a festival.
That was the best.
Tell me.
That was a nightmare.
You guys, I'm going to go pee real quick. I'm sorry.
Go pee. Cadaver, you're going to tell the story.
You go.
Yeah, we were at a festival in England, and it had been raining all day, and water had collected on the roof, and the weight of it had broken, and the water all fell down exactly on his pedal board and his wedges in about 3 inches of water, and everything was totally destroyed. Show was over. The thing all the pedals turned on, and freaking out. The whole rig was screaming and going crazy. Yeah, that was a hard one.
And then what happened for the next shows?
Well, show was over when that happened. That show was done. So I took the pedal board apart, took every single pedal apart, took all the electronics out, everything, had it all laid out to dry out in the back lounge of the bus. And we had a day off the next day, so we went to the hotel in Frankfurt, Germany, and I let everything air dry out the best I could. Went back in early the next day for the next show at 7 in the morning and got a contact cleaner and cleaned every single jack, pedal, knob, circuit board on 18 pieces of gear. Put it all back together, and I think out of the 18 pieces, only 3 didn't work, which I had backups for. And
then the whole thing burned in a house fire, and we had to rebuild it from scratch.
Yeah, and then 3 months later, it burned.
Fuck.
Yeah, Fred, in the Malibu fires, it was at Fred's house, and I was living with Fred at the time in his guest room, and the whole thing burned down and is gone forever.
Fuck.
You know what? I think that pedal board was made out of aluminum.
Yeah, it was.
So I think it melted to nothing. I think the aluminum melted in the fire.
You never found what happened?
No, it was gone.
Oh shit!
It was.
I remember another time, when we were in Russia, we were shipping. The last show of the Russian tour 6 years ago was in Kazakhstan, and a bunch of the gear that was overweight didn't make the cargo plane, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just put it on the next one." So we didn't have the pedal board and the monitor rig for the show in Kazakhstan. And I remember Wes was like, "That's it. We have to cancel. Show's over." I'm like, "Dude, this is like the biggest show in Kazakhstan. There's 6,000 people here to see a band that's never been here before." So the promoter put the word out to all his musician friends in the city where we were at. And he literally showed up with a plastic grocery bag with pedals.
With the people there going like, "What?" And we built a pedal board on the
built a pedal board and taped it to the stage, and with batteries, no power supplies, and luckily we made it work and had an awesome show. Actually,
it was a great show. Thank you to all of those people that brought the pedals. We gave them merch and all kinds of stuff. Like, we were so grateful to them, and they were awesome to us too.
It's funny, people
very happy.
People, I think, assume that just wherever a band like Limp Bizkit would go, everything is just like served to you. Like, whatever you could say, like, I need whatever you can, golden toilet, and it's like, yeah, well, we have a stock of those for people just like you,
That's what people think,
but
that's
it's not the case. No. And like there's certain places you go and it's like, well, this is what we got. I remember one time I was in Russia, I forget where, but they gave me like 3 symbols and they were all like these like little kid symbols, and I was like what do you mean? And they're like, well, we had Corn here last week and he broke all the symbols. Like, of course he broke them if this is what you're giving him. But yeah. But all right. Well, hey, Cadaver, there's a little bit of echo. Like I said, there might be. So we're going to say goodbye now. But in the future, I think I would love to have you and even Steve on the show together, and we can fucking
that'd be fun.
Get some headphones.
That'd be great.
Shit. Yeah,
that'd be super fun.
All right, so say goodbye to Cadaver, everybody, and you'll see him again soon.
I love you, Cadaver.
All right, here we are. So
what a treat.
Yeah, that was nice, huh? I had him like
you surprised me.
When was the last time you talked to him?
I don't know, a few months ago, something like that.
I miss everyone, man. I remember.
It's sad. It's sad.
He's like he's like your dude, and I know how important it is to have like a solid tech, not that many people need a solid tech like you or I need a solid tech, and like it's nice. Have you ever had a tech that was not a solid tech that you're just like, fuck, like I'm fucked, this is my guy for now, and you're just like,
yeah, it was, and I feel badly because he's dead now, so I'm not sure how. He's dead.
Listen, I've had some bad techs that are still my best friends, and they know why they were bad techs. So
okay, so this guy was so sweet, but what a mess. His name was Richie Barron. His claim to fame was that he was in the "Pour Some Sugar on Me" Def Leppard video, and he was like, he would put it on and go, "That's me, right there on the truss," and he'd like point himself out, in the '80s, but. Richie Barron, he did tons of meth and ketamine and cocaine, and his hair was like this wild blonde hair, and he ate candy all the time, and his teeth were crazy. And Lethal started calling him Beetlejuice because he kind of looked like Beetlejuice. And on tour, he got so offended by it that you could go Beetlejuice, 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 and he would really go away. It worked. Like he would just disappear because he would go, "Oh, fuck you," and leave. But he was such a terrible tech, but such a sweet guy, because he was always on drugs. But he
wait, hold on. Go ahead.
Wait, what?
I think someone just sent me a picture, and I think it might be of this. So I'm trying to put it in
of Richie Barron. Let's see.
Oh fuck! It's not working.
He's so funny.
Is that it? No.
I don't.
Oh, this is a Limp Bizkit picture.
No, that's when the water collapsed. That's the water collapsed. That's when it was raining and the ceiling of the stage filled up with water, and then the tarp broke and it poured down just on my pedal board. It bullseyed me.
It fucking
was crazy. Nuts. Yeah, watch the video. It's great. And then Fred just laughs, and then my rig goes crazy, and it's go like. And we just went, okay, that's the end of the show. Goodbye. We only had one song left. Anyway. But so Richie Barron. Okay, so one of the times, there were 2 times where MTV had us come down, once to the Bahamas, once to Jamaica, to play like the spring break sort of things, or Fashionably Loud or whatever, right in the beginning. And Richie Barron, he didn't bring my 4-string guitar. If any of you know, I play 6-string guitars, but I also have a 4-string guitar that's tuned differently, and it's very like punchy, and there's a bass string and 3 guitar strings, and it's a tuning that I developed and I use on a bunch of different songs. But one of the songs I use it on is the song Nookie, and which is on the second record, and we were going down, that was the song we were going to play, and he didn't bring my 4-string. He brought like a different guitar. It was like, "Wes, I'm sorry, I didn't bring the 4-string. I don't know what happened," because we flew down just for this one show, and he brought the wrong guitar, so I had to like set the guitar up to be able to play that song, and it didn't really work well. But anyway, I did it anyway. So I fixed that, and then I go back to like where they have a setup in dressing rooms. And then he goes, "Where's your pedal board? Is it working?" He shows up just frantic, freaking out. And I went, "Well, you have it set up in a necklace. Like all the cables were plugged into each other. So all the pedals were just in a necklace. You know what I mean? Like it was a circle." And I went, "You got to put the input and the output in." He goes, "Oh my God. Okay. I'm sorry." Anyway, Richie, he was, and I eventually had to fire him. And I sat with him in the production office of like an arena show, and I went, "Richie, it's just not working anymore." And he goes, "You don't understand. Ketamine changed my life. It would change yours too if you just."
Like he was trying to get you to do meth.
No, ketamine. He was just like
Ketamine.
And he was crying. Yeah, and it was bizarre. There was also a time where he took over our whole bus and had sex with this girl, and she was like hanging out of the window of the bus. It was, I mean,
was this the guy? Was this the guy with the passports?
He's a wild man. That what?
The passports in the bathtub?
No, that's a different guy.
Oh, okay.
That guy actually went crazy.
Okay.
Richie was crazy, but that other guy we had a tour manager go absolutely insane. Like he snapped on tour, and he had a mental break, and he was running around the hotel naked. This is a different guy, not Richie Barron. And this guy's still alive, but he was running around the hotel naked. He had put all of our passports and all the money in the bathtub and filled it up with water. The water was drained, like running out of his room.
He was trying to make a portal to go home, dude. He was over you guys.
Yeah. He said the only way we can get back to the present is if we go upside down. He wrote Fred like a death threat letter, and like it had teardrops all over it where the ink was. I mean, dude, we've had some fucking crazy shit happen on tour with people just like losing their minds. But this was in Belarus.
Oh no.
And it was in Minsk, and we left him there.
Oh boy.
And his mom and dad came and got him and took him back to Seattle or where he's from. But God bless that guy. I went in, and he goes, and he goes, it was weird because that guy, the night he went crazy, he had been talking about like the Cyrillic alphabet and double and triple entendres and all this wild stuff. And then he walked out on stage and whispered something to Fred in his ear in the middle of a show and then left. And I was just like, "What was that?" And everybody was like,
"What did Fred have?" Like, was Fred like, "Uh-oh"?
No, he couldn't hear because he whispered in his ear. He was just like, "What are you doing?" He couldn't hear him. But I went in the room, and Fred texts me at like 4:30 in the morning and goes, "Yo," I'm not going to say his name. He goes, "Dude is crazy. You got to come up here right now." And they had gotten him in bed. He was completely naked. They'd gotten him in bed and gotten like underwear back on him. And he was going like, I go, "Did you take drugs? What's going on?" And he goes, I smoked some cigarettes, but just call my father. He'll make sure the legislation is fun. I mean, he was just like babbling. Anyway,
yikes.
Crazy people on tour. But Richie Barron, I guess the funniest story with Richie Barron is that he used to work for Tool for a long time. Not for a long time.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
A short time.
Do I know his name from an album, from a Tool song or something? Did they say his name once? I feel like I know his name. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Anyway, so there's this story. There's a funny story where Trent Reznor from Nails called Tool asking for a guitar. They'd lost their guitar tech because Trent fires people all the time. And they called asking for a recommendation for a guitar tech. And Maynard goes, "You should get this guy, Richie Barron." And then...
Did he know?
Maynard? Trent didn't know. No, he knew who he was. They'd fired him. And and Trent, it took him like 3 or 4 days to realize that it was a joke. Like he did it which is terrible. Like, "Oh, get this guy." Anyway, God bless Richie Barron.
Richie, we're talking about your legacy lives on.
We're talking about your legacy. Somebody shot him with a paintball one time. That was funny.
Dear God! I thought you were going to say that's how he died. Oh, it's going to
no. I think he died of a drug overdose. Oh. But poor guy. I loved him so much. We loved having him around. He brought life to us every day. He just couldn't do his job because he was on too many drugs. But love Richie Barron.
Love you, Richie. So
Love you, Richie.
I really want to. I'm gonna shortly talk about a lot of your solo stuff because I'm really like diving into this like bananas. But before that, there's a little segue. A really good question someone asked that I thought was a perfect segue into me speaking about this stuff, which was a question about you and me, and that was, Wes, how did you meet me? Let's tell the story of when we met, or our tour together. And
I think we met because we got given the Combi Christ tour. Blacklight Burns was supporting Combi Christ, and we met in Atlanta, Georgia for the first time, I want to say, in Andy's big warehouse thing that he had there. God, how did he even afford that? Like, how much space
that
he had? It was like football fields of space.
This was a really weird situation. This was
huge. I totally forgot about this.
What it was an old Cinnabon factory. And it was like a football field sized place. And then I don't know if you remember, there was a big tunnel that went under to another huge building. And people were like living in there. Like he had friends that were living in there. And I think
bizarre.
I think what happened with that was like Andy was friends with the guys who had the lease on the building, and they didn't have anyone to move in. So they told them, like, if you just pay the electric bills, you guys can use this until we get rid of it. And then the bills wound up being like $10,000 a month, and it was like only a matter of time. But we used it to rehearse for this tour. And I remember you came in that day, and that was the first day we met, and then we toured together. That was a great tour.
Yeah, that was a great tour. I remember Dennis Sanders was wild man on that tour and got in a bunch of trouble for, like, he almost crashed the bus when he jumped through the curtain.
That was the first. It's always like when you're on tour, it's the first night where everyone's just like, yeah, we're back out on, and it's like the craziest party, and the next day everyone's in trouble. And actually,
everybody got in big trouble.
Everyone got in big trouble. I remember I was there. I feel like I remember your whole thing on the tour was like you would like hang out in the front of the bus, and you would kind of like egg people on a little bit, and then you'd be like, when it got a little crazy, you'd be like, it's time for me to go, and like
I'm gonna go to bed.
It would all unfold, and you hear about it the next day. And on this particular occasion, I remember someone put on Metallica. I'm wearing a Metallica shirt. Someone put on Master of Puppets in the front lounge, and we started moshing. There was like five of us up there. Dennis was one of them, and we were just like going bananas, just partying. And then someone threw a bottle of whiskey, and it went. The driver's doing like 70 miles an hour down the highway, and a bottle of whiskey goes flying through the curtain, and I guess smashed on the window. And then
I was asleep already while this all happened. I heard about it the next day, and you were like, "You got to get your dude under control."
Well, then Dennis got thrown up, and he landed on the windshield thing, and the guy, the bus driver didn't say anything. He just pulled the bus over in the middle of the highway, and we're just like still wasted, and we're thinking like, what is this guy doing? And we go outside, and he's taking his luggage off the bus, and we're just like, yo, dude, what are you doing, man? We gotta go to a show. And he's like, I'm quitting. I'm out of here. Like, and it was a whole thing, yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, thanks for watching Anvil Pants. It's a mess. That's the Blacklight Burns documentary.
Oh, I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours long. It's Anvil Pants. The Blacklight Burns.
Was it part of the box set?
It's in the box set, yeah. Okay. It's in that book that you open up that's got prints in it and all the Masonic stuff. But yeah, you can watch Anvil Pants on YouTube.
Yeah,
if you want to see it.
Every once in a while, I'm in Russia, and someone brings me a Blacklight Burns record to sign with my name in it. And there was
that's right.
There was like a minute where I was almost in the band, and then it didn't work out because I got busy. And I think maybe we made like one Instagram post.
I totally forgot about that, and you completely stood me up, Joe. You said, I got to go DJ for Rammstein. I'm not going to do your shitty band. And you left.
I didn't say the word shitty.
I'm just kidding. I know. I'm kidding.
No, I was excited about it. I was really excited about it, and then yeah, I got this other gig, and I fuck. I feel like I found some. I helped you find someone, or maybe you just found. I don't remember.
Nah, we found this kid named Dylan who turned out to be a real douche.
It
But
was like a YouTube kid or
anyway,
something. Yeah.
yeah, he played okay for a while. Yeah.
Fuck. Well, I remember when I was on tour with you, and my impression of you, and we became friends quickly, and you know, you don't. I was young. I didn't know. You know, to me, you were this dude in this big band coming to tour with us, and I didn't know if you were going to be an asshole. That, you know, you're inexperienced. You don't know. You don't think things through. And I remember thinking like, well, what if he hates us, and like, what if he's a dick? And you were just so cool and humble, and like, your vibe in your band was so great, and you were like very proactive with just being present and like doing normal band stuff. And I don't know if I'm like saying this very well, but you made a very big impression on me.
Oh,
And-
that's nice. Thanks,
yeah.
Joe.
And as I got to know you, I really got into the fact that you do all this other stuff, because, you know, I've said it before. It's very obvious that you were a huge influence on me growing up. I used to go to Limp Bizkit concerts, and I actually wasn't a huge Limp Bizkit fan as a kid, but I was always very drawn to you on stage, and I wasn't like into guitar players, but you were just
Didn't you get kicked out of a Limp Bizkit show or something, or Fred like kicked you out of backstage?
yeah, but
for doing something?
we don't want to. That's
Okay, forget it.
we shouldn't talk about that. I remember I
That's
told
a
you
funny-
that story, and
that's
you
a-
were
you told me that story. That's
You
funny.
go, I'm really sorry, but let's never tell that to Fred. Maybe Fred will ask me one day. But it was just so long ago.
I'm sure he would think it was funny.
Yeah, but so what was my point? Oh,
You said
so,
I do a bunch of side shit.
yeah. So what I grew to really appreciate about you is, yeah, I was very drawn to you, and I didn't know why, and you know, obviously you're like looking all fucking wild on stage, and all the shit's great. Then I'm getting to know you, and I'm realizing you quickly changed from the guy in Limp Bizkit to me to the artist and the guy that expresses himself really fully in so many other avenues that is in Limp Bizkit. You know what I mean? And the point I'm trying to make is like, when I listen to like Crystal Machete, your other solo stuff, like I hear all the different facets of like what, like I hear from listening to it all, it's like I don't feel like I hear Limp Bizkit in those things. I now feel like I hear you in Limp Bizkit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, I totally get it. I mean, I'm into so many different kinds of music, and really enjoy expressing myself in different ways, and that's why I have so many side projects, because I don't feel like what I do can all be combined into one thing. It needs to, there's different things I want to focus on, and it's like the difference between, like, if I'm gonna make tacos, I'm not gonna try. Oh, thanks for putting the astral hand and Crystal Machete up. But if I'm gonna make tacos, I'm not gonna try to like put spaghetti and filet mignon and like, you know, Brazilian food and Japanese food and sushi. I'm not gonna try to like pack everything into one meal. You know, because I love cooking too. So, and I cook all kinds of different things, but I feel like with records, you really need to, or projects, you need to concentrate on one aspect of one thing and do that well. And luckily, I've done enough projects and been into enough music to where I've got like, I guess now I've got Limp Bizkit plus 3 different side projects that I work on all the time, which are Blacklight Burns, Big Dumb Face, and then the projects I do just as a solo artist, which are mostly instrumental. They have vocals on them, but it's sort of interchangeable. Like there's a thing coming up where I'm gonna do a live stream of 3 of my projects. Solo stuff, Blacklight Burns, and Big Dumb Face. And I put a band together. It's some of the people who've been in Blacklight Burns before. It's some of the people that I've worked with on other stuff before, and it's a 5-person band, and we're covering like a bunch of different stuff that I've done in the past. And some of the songs that have been on my solo records, I'm gonna do in like a Blacklight Burns way, because there are vocals through vocoder on those records. The vocals on the rules on those records are almost always that the vocals must be altered in some way. But those songs also lend themselves to be Blacklight Burns songs done like with a live band in a heavier way. So it's I'm actually adapting those right now, and it's pretty easy to adapt them to do as Blacklight Burns songs, which is anyway. But that's sort of the thing that I'm focused on right now. I'm putting a live rig together with like a bunch of stuff and a live band, and it's I'm losing track of where I was going with this.
It's okay.
But yeah,
do you want to tell anyone who's in your band yet, who's doing this with you yet, or if you can't talk about
yeah,
it?
sure. It's Nick Annis, who was the guitar player for Blacklight Burns, is playing guitar. Fred Sablon, who's played with Manson and Chelsea Wolfe, is playing bass, and Peter Hook. Hayden Scott, who's the drummer for Ghost, is playing drums. And then my friend Alex Rawson, he was the head of audio at Shinola in Detroit, and he's also owns his own company, Rawson Audio Design. He also was one of the inventors of Barefoot speakers and Odyssey headphones. He's the best headphone maker in the world and makes speakers and turntables, but he's also a great drummer and electronic musician. So he's covering, like, he's going to be playing a second drum kit sometimes. He's going to be doing mixing stuff and engineering stuff. He's going to be doing electronics and keyboards sometimes. It's a really well-rounded band that's going to can cover any of this stuff. So Big Dumb Face is very like metal. Blacklight Burns is very like, I don't know, like sort of Nails-ish, Queens of the Stone Age-ish. And then my solo stuff is very, ambient, and some of it is very electronic. But yeah.
This stuff, man, like I cannot stop listening to it. It's so I put it on earlier, and my cat just crawled on me, and it was like she was on ecstasy. She wouldn't leave, and she was just listening to. I'm like, you like this, huh? Yeah, I can't stop listening to these records, man. They're fucking amazing. Like they're like
there's a third one that's an EP called Matadors and Daughters. That is it's between the two, Crystal Machete, Matadors and Daughters, and then the Astral
It's
Hand.
2 songs.
So it's 2 songs, but it's 20 minutes long. So it's like,
okay.
It's sort of like, it's kind of like a single, but I call it an EP because it's so long.
Well, for anyone that only knows you from Bizkit and wants to, at the end of this, go and check some other stuff out, I suggest that everyone start with these, because this really fucking speaks for itself. And it's like a crazy guided meditation. Like it's like, when I listen to The Wall or The Fragile, I listen to the whole record. Like these, you got to listen to the whole records.
They're made to be listened to as one whole record.
They're fucking awesome.
Crystal Machete, the difference is Crystal Machete had like songs that went on to, thanks for buying Crystal Machete on vinyl. That's awesome. It sounds better on vinyl, and there's an extra song. Crystal Machete actually, it fucked people up when they tried to listen to it on Spotify or out of order, because a lot of the songs go right into the next one, and there's like a hard clip. So the Astral Hand, for that reason, I did the actual songs that started and ended, and then started and ended, so that people can listen to it out of order.
Gotcha.
And it doesn't, it's not jarring or rude, And
then your first, what was your first like other band? You said Eat the Day was before Bizkit? Or was it the first
Eat
band?
The Day was, no, it was, Big Dumb Face was the first side project I did.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, Big Dumb Face, that's the second Big Dumb Face record, and there are 18 years in between the two Big Dumb Face records.
You did a new Big Dumb Face record recently.
That's the new one, yeah.
This is the new one.
That's the new one.
Got
There's
it.
an older one this one I think is more advanced, and It's the first one. Oh, somebody just said, I tweeted about getting this saying that I don't have a record player. And Wes said, buy the record player. Yeah, buy a record player. They're like $25 in a pawn shop or something. But Big Dumb Face. I mean, I had other bands before Limp Bizkit, but then Big Dumb Face was the first side project I did in 2001 ish, and we did a tour. It was only like 18 shows, but and we made a video, and it was just really silly. But I really feel like the second Big Dumb Face record it took the original ideas of the first Big Dumb Face record and really made them like really went far. But Big Dumb Face also covers a bunch of the second Big Dumb Face record covers a bunch of the story and material from Crystal Machete too. It drops the same names, so does the Astral Hand. It's all in the same world. Like, because one day I wanted to do like a comic book or a cartoon or a video game with all these characters involved.
Rad. I remembered this video that you I'm going to play a little clip from it in a second, and I was doing a little research, and I'm not so familiar with Big Dumb Face, so I got confused, and I thought that you made this video for an old record. So I was going to ask you about that, but it's a very different video, different vibe than the video from the first record. So here, let me play it real, like it's only like 10 seconds, just so everyone
Jesus Retreats.
And it was I remember you telling me about how you recorded it, so it was really interesting. So I want to show everyone. It's like 10 seconds, and then I'll bring us back and we can talk about it.
Okay.
Dude.
Yeah, so that's done like Haunted Mansion style. So in 2013, when you and I did the League of Legends, because we didn't even talk about that. When we did the League of Legends, what are they? The finals? Is that when we
it was like we
were the music at the finals of League of Legends?
Yeah, it was a wild one. We could talk about
Danny
that.
Lohner, Tina Guo, the LA Philharmonic Orchestra. But at the Crystal Method. Anyway, so that light armor that I had made for that show, they gave me the bust of, because I had to get molded. Like they did a whole plaster, like silicone mold that in order to make a fiberglass replica of me from the chest up to build that stuff on.
Right.
And I have that still. So for that video, what I did was I recorded myself singing, and then all the lyrics, and then I projected it like Haunted Mansion style on that mold of myself, if that makes sense. You know, in the Haunted Mansion where the Disney trick where they have a like video on the 3D bust. But anyway, that's how I did that.
And is that
and it was done so cheap. It was just I just did it all myself when I was living in Detroit by myself, going crazy.
It's only you in the video, and you filmed it.
Yeah.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. I made it all by myself in Detroit when the record came out.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks terrible, but it has a thing. So.
It doesn't look terrible. It's fucking badass, dude. Everyone's got to check that out for sure.
Jesus Retreats.
Yes. Yeah, you were
because evil is better and wins.
So you just brought up that League of Legends thing, and it's funny because I always consider, like, we always talk about playing in bands together, and we always like kind of play in bands together, and then we just like never really play in bands together. Like you played
that one we did.
Yeah, but it was like just one show, and then like you were in Combi Christ for a couple of shows, like playing guitar, and then we.
Oh, that was super fun.
I tried to do I was rehearsing with you for another band in Detroit for a little while, and then that didn't pan out. It's funny, but we both figured out that you and I together played on the stage at Madison Square Garden and the Staples Center for the first time together.
That's right. Yep.
And do you remember what happened? I tell this story a lot too at the Madison Square Garden show.
What do you mean? What happened?
Well, we started the show and the fucking lights blew out, and you like, and we were playing in the dark. Like we played in the pitch black dark for the first. I still have nightmares about this.
That's happened to me so many times. I've had the lights go out. There was a Blacklight Burns show where the lighting was terrible, so we just like had one light. I was just like, turn these lights off. Just turn on the like halogens, and we're just gonna play under like. You gotta be, versatile.
Yeah.
And ready to do anything. I mean, I've fallen off stage 3 times, I think, during a show.
You've had some injuries too, huh?
Yeah, but whatever.
Shit happens.
I mean, I can't. I mean, I'm not comfortable during shows with all the shit on me. It's not like it's pleasant. I don't know. I haven't had any horrible injuries. I've never like broken a bone on stage.
But you've played with broken bones.
Yeah, I've played with a broken hand, recovering, and that was weird, but fine. And it's not like my favorite broken bone story would probably, it's not mine, it's Josh Freeze's, when he was on tour with the Perfect Circle and he broke his leg, and then he just went like, no, I'll just use the other leg for the kick drum. I'll use my left leg instead of my right leg.
That's not so easy to do.
It was for him. He was just like, fine. And he got a closed hi-hat and an open hi-hat and played, and he got a double pedal and just played kick with his left foot instead of his right.
Yikes.
But, yeah. Oh, Josh Freeze.
I've broken my foot on stage. Well, I fractured it. It was through in the chaos that used to happen on stage when we used to throw shit around. It's not fun to play with that, but I would just get wasted and play through it and just make it worse.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what you do. So
just make it worse.
So we'll wrap it up soon, but I just there's a few people that asked a few questions. So if you're cool to just
all right, let's have some questions.
So Stefan, a good friend of mine, is he's the dude that you helped me put him in contact with Ross, and he had some Ross questions. So he said he asked, during a Space Zero stream, you mentioned that Ross gets into your head when working with him. He would like to know how your first encounters with Ross played out, and if he has an antidote to share. Also, if he worked with you on any of Blacklight Burns or Crystal Machete or GOATSLAYER.
He did. Ross worked on Mesopotamia, which is the first song on Cruel Melody, the first Blacklight Burns record, and he also helped produce the vocals for when Karina Round sang the backing vocals on the song Cruel Melody. So Ross is on that record. He also, when I first met Ross sort of like at a really young age, I guess when I was 20 or 21 was the first time I met Ross, and he's about 10 years older than me. So he was, 30 or 31. And when we made the first Limp Bizkit record, I didn't live at the studio where everyone else did. I lived at Ross's house. Like, we were inseparable. Like, he's such a huge influence on me. He taught me like how to manipulate like the EQs on guitar heads to get like the most rowdy sound, like pushing the mids. And instead of like scooped, we'd be super midi and pushy. I mean, and then years later, I saw how Queens of the Stone Age do it, how they like mid boost everything over and over again through like the mic and the preamp and the guitar head and a pedal, and they're just like over boosting the mid. And then when I worked with Danny Lohner years later, he did the same thing, and like these really wild ways to use EQs. But Ross was sort of who first introduced me to effects pedals, got me involved in like circuit bent wild stuff, and also just like he also instilled in me how important it is to be in the moment, and that the performance is more important than the sound that you're getting on a record. Like the performance you capture in the moment is so much more important than the way anything sounds or is recorded. You want to capture that like wildness. And I've recorded so much in my life. I think GOATSLAYER, we've only released one record, but we've got 21 records that we've made. And most of those are for us just to listen back to and it's like a memory to, oh, thanks. My mom hates that
I
album
bet.
cover.
Does she
My
know it's
mom
you?
was- yeah, she goes,
She
"I
knows that that's
hate-"
your X-ray of you.
well, I wish it was my X-ray of me, but we just got that off the internet somewhere and have been using it for years. But no, she hates it. Sally Borland is so upset by that, and Tom Borland didn't like it either. But my mom gave me a little piece of her mind about when that came out last year. She goes, because I put it on my Instagram. She was just like, "I'm so upset by that album."
My mom does this too with my Instagram.
Yeah. But I figure like if your parents are getting offended by something you're doing, you're on the right.
Yeah, it's like
You're on the right
reminding you,
track.
like everything
Yeah.
we were doing when we were teenagers that was lucrative.
Yeah.
You're still doing it.
Yeah, that's right. So anytime my parents get upset, I'm just like, great. But I have an important question to Wes. How you made your hair looking so beautiful in '90s? What, like when it was dyed black and had a bunch of like Murphy's pomade in it and it was like spiked up and looked like a fucking moron? Yeah, that's. I love those memories.
Black Ben Nye hair gel.
Yeah, black. No, it was what is it? That black hair dye that has never changed. Faria. That's what I would use. The blue black Faria, where that's had the same girl on the box for like 25 years. They've never changed the.
They need to
the
do
artwork.
a.
It's
They
the
need
same.
to do like a "Where is she now" on that girl.
Oh, she's got to be like 50 years old. Jeez, Louise. Can we bring up the Faria girl from the?
Hey, yeah, Stefan, look it up. While
No, I'm gonna. I got. And then I developed an allergy to hair dye. I can't dye my hair anymore.
because you were using really shitty hair dye.
No. Any hair dye.
Really?
Faria blue black. This girl.
Oh yeah. Oh
same
yeah.
Same girl on the box.
Every time I dyed my hair, I always got that
For
as
a
well.
million years.
And it was
Yeah.
because that girl was so hot. You're like, you want
That's
to have hair like
Faria
Hako.
blue black. That's the one. It's the
Yeah.
same girl that's been like that. Yes, like it's been like that since like 2095. I'm not sure. Forever.
So, two more questions. Ace would like to ask, what is your most liked and least liked song to play live?
I mean, I like anything new. I like when we change up. Like lately, it's been nothing because we haven't been playing live. But I would say like in the end of 2019, 2020, we started playing "Nobody Loves Me," which is from $3 Bill. We brought that back into the set and into rotation, and I love playing "Nobody Loves Me." I love playing 1999 is a really fun song to play.
I really like when you guys do like Metallica or like,
when
you
we
kind of
play covers.
Yeah, how do you? I remember being in your dressing room one time and like your drummer came in and he was like, you guys were like riffing on like how you were gonna do the breakdown and then you just did it. I thought that. I mean, do you guys like rehearse that at sound check or are you doing that like before a tour or?
Sometimes we've also just talked things through before we've gone on stage, and we're such a tight band, and everyone in the band is such a good musician that we usually can just like talk something through and pull it off, and make changes. Like right before, we'll just go like, no, we're going to do this. We've been a band for so long, and we're so used to talking to each other that we share that sort of the same language as far as when it comes to describing music, and we get what each other mean by things. So, I mean, that's one of the things that I enjoy most about playing in Limp Bizkit it's just been such a long time, and we have such a tight relationship, especially musically, like even beyond friendship, we can just sort of, we have that like telepathy to where
Yeah.
we could just like feel what the other person's going to do because we grew up playing music, so much music together. So
Well, it's funny.
I love that.
When you say that, I feel like a lot of bands might say that about themselves, but I've seen a lot of bands play live, and one thing I'll say about watching Limp Bizkit play live with all you guys is it is not like any other show. You guys go out there and start, and it's like a party. It's like you just starting a party, and the party just like
Yeah.
goes for a while, and then it ends. But like the way, like you'll do an intro, like an intro to a song for 12 minutes, and then all of a sudden, like you all kick in at the same time, and then Fred's in the crowd for like 15 minutes, and it's like, but the flow does
'cause
not stop.
We're not always sure what's going to happen. Like a lot, like there are some elements that are planned, but we do changes during the set. We call audibles. You know, we will throw songs in. We'll take songs out. There's been times where we just go completely off set list. We're never on tracks. We're never, you know, that's
click.
the one thing that makes it exciting is that you never know what's going to happen. And also, the big part of the crowd is of the show is the crowd. It's the people watching. Like we don't know what they're going to do. Like if they're totally lame, like which is almost never happens, but if there's like a weird vibe, it will totally change the show.
Of course.
You know, we almost never do encores, but if the crowd is like great enough, like there's I think we had a show in Berlin one time where we were planning on playing like an hour and a half, and we did like 2 hours and 45 minutes. We just like kept going just because it was so good, and we kept going back out and kept playing, and that's really makes it fun.
You guys heard it here first. If you ever want to see an encore to Limp Bizkit show, you just got to go fucking bananas.
Well, everybody goes bananas. So.
Well, I love going to see you guys play. I really always have the best time ever. So
Me too. I'm really sad that we're not playing right now. We had so much planned for last year and so much for this year.
Well, I think, what do you think? Like everything's just going to get pushed off and they keep rolling everything over. It seems like everyone's like still announcing tours, right? And the way I figure that it's working out is people are still rescheduling the shows and announcing them, and it's just going to keep rolling over until it's like, okay, it's open, and then it's like, oh, that band gets the tour.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, obviously the festivals are not canceling; they're pushing, so they don't have to refund tickets. Mm-hmm. You know, like all these big festivals, but the shows that have been canceled are not really being rebooked. It's mostly just these festivals. But when we go play, what we do is we plug in shows between festivals. So we rely on that to be like the bread and butter of the tour, like that's the foundation of our tour, is scheduling, headlining these big festivals in Europe and in the US, and then we plug in dates in between. And that's basically, and then we do a budget, and we see like how much we're going to make depending and how much it's going to cost to do the tour. And I don't know, I'm just saying for people who don't know this, that's how this works. You know, we basically we get offers and we negotiate the offers with festivals and promoters all across the world. And if it makes sense for us to do a tour to where we can pay the crew and make a profit at the end, we do it. And if it doesn't make sense, we don't. So that's how that works. And
then a lot of times, I mean, not that it happens often, but if you were to have a tour booked and some festival goes under, I know it's happened to me a couple of times. If that one festival goes under, sometimes you have to cancel the whole tour, and people are like, well, what does that have to do with anything? But you were getting so much money for that one show.
Usually they have insurance, though. Like we've never had a festival cancel on us that didn't have insurance and we got paid anyway.
Okay, true.
So we're usually able just to continue to do the whole tour. But yeah, man, I can't wait to play again.
I know, me too.
Because I'm going fucking crazy, just like everyone else is.
Are you going to make any new records?
Well, now that the apartment underneath us just opened up, I think that we're going to take that over, and I'm going to turn that into a studio. So yeah, I'm not like the house in Detroit just sold. Praise be. So I'm not going to be buying a house until we go back to work again. So we're just going to hunker down here and stretch it out.
Are you worried about fires where you are? I haven't like experienced these fires at all.
No, we live in like downtown LA. basically.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of shrubbery near us or
Jess had a
trees.
Jess had a good question, and I guess she probably didn't know what happened to you, and I think it's public knowledge. But like, her question was, if there's a fire in your studio and you only have time to grab one guitar and two pedals, what do you choose? But I think that actually happened to you a couple years ago. No?
The fire did, yeah, and I grabbed my 4 string and I had a few other guitars that I threw in the car, but I almost grabbed my pedal board, but I didn't because Fred and it was really weird how that fire unfolded because I was living, this was October no, it was early November of 2018. And he hit me up in the morning at like 8:45 and goes, "Hey, we're gonna have to evacuate, I think. There's a huge fire." And I was just like, "Okay." So I came downstairs and we were just like making coffee and looking out of the window and we could see the cloud. Like it was a huge fire cloud. And we went, "Oh, I guess we're gonna have to leave." So we just started packing the cars and slowly like going, "This is weird. Okay, well," and Fred's son Dallas left first, and then I left afterwards. And then Fred didn't think the fire was going to actually jump PCH and hit the house, so he like really drug his feet and took his time and ended up having to like escape on his motorcycle with a backpack on because the door.
Like, how close was the fire at that point? Like,
It was jumping. It was starting to burn the house down. He had to jump on a motorcycle and like run
holy shit.
to escape because he like waited till like 11 and I was out at like 9 o'clock. But anyway, yeah, he lost like all our hard drives that we had been recording the new record on. He lost like 3 microphones, speakers, mic pre. He lost all of his kids' photos.
That would be the
Gone
worst.
forever. Yeah,
Oh,
all the like little baby photos and everything gone forever.
so, but everything is like recovering now and like business as
Yeah.
usual, or?
Well, obviously not with the pandemic, but yeah, we ended up all like banding together and finding all the stuff on all the hard drives, and
Oh, great.
now are able to probably put that together in the future.
And new Limp Bizkit album comes out next month.
I fucking hope so. But I mean, there's like 28 songs recorded, 26, 27, 28 songs recorded, and been working on vocals during the pandemic. So we obviously aren't going to release a record during the pandemic because we wouldn't be able to support it.
But you can, though. You know how?
No, I release records all the time, but side projects.
This is
Oh,
it.
like that, like that's Flaming Lips.
Yeah. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I've seen the Flaming Lips show where they did that.
What do you think of this?
Ridiculous. It's so funny.
What if this was the future? Would you still do it?
No, who wants to do that?
Flaming
That
Lips do.
sucks.
They're doing a lot of these shows. They're doing like a couple a month now.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know, it does suck.
Yeah. No, I want to be able to come in contact with people again and like jump in the crowd and do all the stuff that I do. I mean, the Limp Bizkit shows are, like you said, they're like a party, and doing it all in bubbles would be bizarre.
Of course.
I'm not sure if it would be the same feeling.
The Bizarre Bubble Tour.
The
So
Bizarre Bubble Tour, yeah.
I'm going to let you go in a minute, but before we go, I just wanted to give you a chance to talk about these shirts that you're making right now. For those who don't know, these are all available on Space Zebra, and Wes had approached me and said that he was interested in making some shirts and stuff, and I was like, you should hook up with Bobby. Bobby is the guy who does Blackcraft. Everyone knows Blackcraft,
Mm-hmm.
and you
And
guys.
now we've got a whole merch line and a spacezebra.com and a podcast and a Twitch, and we've just gone crazy.
And it's
We've
like an
gone crazy.
empire.
It's like in 4 months we started all this stuff, and now all my cookies are in this basket, and I just do everything I do now is for Space Zebra.
It's
the cult of Space Zebra. Yeah, it
your
revolves
life
around
revolves
Space
around
Zebra.
it.
Absolutely.
I love these shirts so much. Of course, I love your character shirts, but also like the hot dogs shirt and no
Hot dogs.
Like what's tell us about those other shirts.
I mean, I have so many like upcoming designs, and I've always wanted to do like a shirt with a skull on it that said skull shirt, because it just seems like such a low brow thing to do, that bands are just like, I'm gonna put a skull on my shirt, and then it's my band name. It's like, and it sells. So it's sort of, the skull shirt is sort of making fun of that, but it's also the hot dogs shirt with just like the kind of like WT couple with the tiki drink and the wife beater shirt and all that stuff, and the Oakleys and the mullet was just funny to me. And I don't know, that I really love Daddy's Boy, which was the Jesus shirt with Jesus winking and biting his lip. That's something. It was originally going to be like it was going to be God is my daddy, but everybody liked Daddy's Boy more. So, Daddy's Boy, hey.
And you're like really into tiki stuff.
I'm obsessed with tiki stuff. I love the entire culture. I'm currently sculpting a tiki cup that is actually here. This is the sculpture that's happening right now. It's covered in saran wrap, so it doesn't dry, because I'm working on it right now. But no, I love tiki stuff so much. I don't know why. I love exotica music. I love Hawaiian music. I've never been to Hawaii.
You've never been to Hawaii?
No.
Hawaii's pretty rad. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I really fucking liked it.
That's also a shirt coming out. There's like a hula girl, and it says, I've never been to Hawaii. Is one of the shirts
Perfect.
That's coming out. Where is that? That's coming up soon. And I'm also doing a bunch of, here you go. I've never been to Hawaii.
Awesome.
The shirt. And then there's a whole series called it's done, but it's going to be coming out later, which is Demons in Paradise, which is all demons from the Ars Goetia and the Lesser Key of Solomon. The most famous of them would be Payman, who was featured as the demon in Hereditary. But anyway, they're all like ancient Mesopotamian demons in beachy settings. So we're doing that with sigils and everything. So anyway,
lovely.
I love the Pacific Rim. I love Satan. So it was an instant fit.
Perfect. Well, I'm gonna all the stuff that we talked about, all your solo stuff, I have all the links in here, and when I publish this video,
thank you.
I'm gonna put them all in the comments so everyone can just watch this and go to the bottom and figure out where to absorb all of this amazing stuff.
There's a lot,
but you will not be disappointed. And there's stuff for every mood too. I love it. So I'm gonna continue listening to the Crystal Machete today for sure.
I really appreciate it, Joe. It's so nice.
No problem, dude. And thanks for hanging with me, man. I had a good time. I'm sorry it got a little annoying yesterday, but I feel like today was better than it would have been yesterday.
We're great. And you surprised me with Cadaver.
Yeah.
We call him Meat Paws. That's his nickname.
Why?
Because he's got gigantic. He's a fucking huge giant person.
He is taller
than me. He's got giant hands. He and I'll leave you with this story. Cadaver and I got drunk in Poland in a bar in a basement. This was years ago, but we decided to have a slap contest, and Cadaver and I've been hit over and over in the face by those gigantic Meat Paws, and my ear was ringing, and it almost knocked me out a couple times. But boy, also slapping that big guy as hard as I can, we had a great time. That's what all that Polish vodka will do to you when you're in the midst of a tour. You know how it is, man.
I know how it is.
Well, you don't anymore, but
I remember.
Yeah, no.
Well, kind of, maybe I do.
Yeah.
I felt like I was on drugs when I was listening to Crystal Machete. I got like chills a couple times.
Good.
I was like, whoa.
That's good.
Yeah.
I remember the greatest video was you on the rascal in the Walmart. And you didn't remember any of it.
No. But it's on. I think it was on YouTube. I went through all my videos like a couple years ago, and I was like, I have a kid now. I need to remove some of these.
Well, I just want to say that I loved that video, and it was hilarious.
Now I got to find it.
Hilarious. No, I love Sober Joe. It's great, and you are the best. But there are a couple of gems from the old times that I hope to see again.
Well, yeah, I'll find the videos. Maybe not a reenactment, but we'll see what happens. But fuck, man, thanks so much for hanging. I had a great time. It was good to see
Absolutely,
your beautiful face.
Me too. Oh, thanks. Next time I'm going to be with a green screen down. I'm going to take over the unit downstairs and build a whole oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't. Allie's on the way back from Palm Springs right now, and we have a big conversation to have about this.
Awesome.
So.
She doesn't know yet?
No, she knows it's available. She's just like, honey, we'll talk about it when we get home. But I was thinking about that too. So it's just, yeah, it's going to be a game changer.
Dude,
my output will like triple because I'll have so much space to like be able to do so many things and leave like a green screen up all the time so I can shoot videos and have like I'm going to have a little painting studio, a music studio, and a little film studio downstairs. And I'm just going to go bonkers because right now I have to set everything up and break everything down every time.
Yeah. Well, I'll get a portable green screen for behind me, and we can do like virtual vacations together, and we can like talk to people sipping fake martinis on the beach.
Oh, can't wait. Can't wait.
All right, dude.
Well, thanks everybody. Thanks, Joe, for having me on, and it was fantastic.
All right, love you tons, dude.
Love you too.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right, everybody. If you're still here, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for hanging out. In the beginning of this video, I had like a little going through the screen thing where you're gonna maybe I'll try to cut it out because let go of the surprise that Wes was already here, but. That was great. That was fun. I'm sorry I got all fucked up yesterday, but thanks for being patient with me and understanding. And I'm sorry that I didn't get to the poop thing, but I know Wes kept seeing it and not addressing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him in private to address the poop video, and I'll get your answer directly from his mouth privately, and I'll let you know what he says. But thanks, guys, so much. I had a blast, and I keep making my list for who I'm going to have on next. I have so many people now that I want to do. I might start doing these more than once a month, but for now I'm real busy. I have a lot going on. I'm going to continue them for once a month. So soon I will announce who's going to be on for March. And I love you all, and I'm so grateful for all of you. And you know, if anyone needs me, you know where to find me. Keep your head up through this mess. We're almost through it, and you know, just try and stay positive. And if you're having a hard time with anything, with being positive, with being sober, with whatever it is, no judgment. You guys can always come and talk to me, and I'll do my best to give you a new perspective and a little pep talk. And you know, that those moments mean so much to me because. You know, that's why I made this Patreon, is so that we would have a little community to keep one another accountable and to lift each other up and to get through all this shit together. And soon I'm going to continue doing the Patreon while I'm on tour and think of all the crazy shit that's going to be going on when I'm doing these on the fucking road and like all the shit I'm going to be getting into. So look forward to that. Look forward to shows happening again soon. I'm really hoping for it. I am personally getting my vaccine as soon as I can because, first of all, I'm high risk. I have a heart condition. And second of all, I believe that when people start flying again, it's going to be a vaccinated only thing possibly. And I consider that if they're still doing quarantining for a while, I won't be able to tour like that. So if things start going on, I got to be ready to go. So you know, I don't want to do it so quick like no one else. Everyone else doesn't. But, you know, I'm doing that sacrifice for all you guys so I can get my ass back out there. And yeah, shit flush, Joey. I saw you in here earlier. It was so good to have you in here, guys. I invited a few of my very old friends from when I was like 18 years old. I moved out of my parents' house, and I lived in a basement of a family, and they had a young teenage boy who had a bunch of friends, and I had my drum set down there, and I introduced them all to like Snot and Limp Bizkit and all these bands. So I, of course, had to reach out to them and be like, yo, anyone of you guys who want to come and hang out during this thing, please come, you know. So it's good to have you guys here, and I'm going to make this public so anyone can watch it. Again, I'm going to put all the links for all of Wes's solo stuff and his t-shirt line at Space Zebra in the comments on the video. So show him some support. You know, like you guys support me, like, you know, all musicians need some support right now. You know, and if you can't support someone with money, you can support them by liking their photos and sharing stuff, because, you know, every time one of my friends puts a photo on Instagram, regardless of what it is, if I can tell that more people should be seeing this for their sake, I will like it, send it to someone, save it, and put a comment. And the more people that do that on a photo, I've said this before, it makes the photo more powerful. So whenever you see Wes posting anything about merch or like his solo stuff or anything, or me or Space Zebra, just do all those actions, and it'll, just doing that simple thing, it'll take you 5 seconds, and it's going to help more people see those things who could possibly support us, and, you know, spread the word on that, because you know, there's so many people out there right now that could just use a little internet love that could turn into a little bit you know, coffee money, or some putting some food on the table. So I love you guys. That was a really long drawn out goodbye, but I'd like to now say goodbye. I love you.